Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Chaos Theater Collective's reading of The Seagull. We presented Uncle Vanya for you last Tuesday, and I'm thrilled on behalf of myself and my partner Bryony to bring this to you all tonight. It's been an honor to work for this company, and there are a lot of readings going on at Chaos Theater Collective, so just keep tuning in and look for all the readings that we have coming up. So I think you're in for a treat tonight. We have wonderful actors from all over the land who shall be reading for your enjoyment tonight. So there will be a brief intermission, but overall, we're looking at about a couple of hours tonight to swim in the land of Chekhov. This is The Seagull, and we are using the adaptation by the renowned playwright Martin Krimp. We have a little bit of muting issues that we need to work out right now, and then we can go ahead and begin. These are the dulcet tones of the backgrounds of Mother Russia. Online theater is the best kind of theater in the world, isn't it? All right. And now an angel of silence has not flown over us.
I think you can actually mute him as the host.
That's a good idea. We're going to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Russia is a loud, boisterous place, as we all have heard. And now, let us begin with Anton Chekhov's The Seagull. The Seagull, by Anton Chekhov, adaptation by Martin Krimp. Act 1. Evening. A terrace at the back of the house on Soren's estate. Upstage is the rest of the house. Downstage, i.e. the space occupied by the auditorium, must be imagined a lake. On the terrace, Yakov and other servants are making arrangements to stage Konstantin's play. This involves curtaining off part of the terrace, bringing out a grand piano. The audience for the play will face the lake, and therefore the auditorium.
And the way you dress.
What do you mean the way I dress?
In black. Why always go around in black?
I'm in mourning for my life. I'm unhappy.
Oh. Then I'm confused. You're healthy. Your father's got money. Not much money, but money all the same. While after deductions, I take home less than $250 a month. I lead a much harder life than you do, but I don't go around in black.
It's nothing to do with money. You can be poor and still be happy.
Well, maybe in theory, but in practice, it goes like this. There's me, my mother, my two sisters, and my baby brother living on less than $250 a month. So what are you suggesting? Give up smoking, stop drinking tea, or maybe we could just not eat?
They should be starting soon.
Oh, yes. Konstantin's play, which Nina is going to act in. They're obsessed with each other, and doing a play together is going to cement their relationship, whereas the two of us don't even have a relationship. I love you, Masha, which is why I can't just sit at home vegetating. I walk here every day, 2 hours here, 2 hours back. And what's my reward? Total indifference. But of course, nobody wants to marry a man who can't provide.
Rubbish. I'm touched by your love, but I can't reciprocate. That's all. Want one?
Not in the mood.
It's close. Feels like there'll be a storm tonight. It's just, you're always picking away at things or talking about money. I know you think poverty is the biggest disaster in the world, but there are worse things in life than wandering the streets begging. Believe me. I'm sorry, I know that's hard for you to understand.
Hi, I'm afraid we're not quite ready for you yet. I'm going to have to ask you about the leave. We'll call you when it's time.
Masha, sweetheart, would you please ask that father of yours to untie the dog so it doesn't howl? My sister spent the whole night awake again.
Talk to my father yourself. It's not my job, and I'm not your sweetheart. Let's go.
You will tell us when it's going to start, yes?
Of course
we will.
So now that dog will be howling all night again.
Excuse me, sir. We're going to get changed.
All right, but I want you in position 10 minutes from now.
You're the boss.
So, what do you think? Empty space, no scenery, just the lake and the horizon. Pure theater. The moon's due up at exactly 8:30, which is when we start.
Excellent.
And if Mia's late, which she looks like being, then the whole effect's ruined. Oh, Christ, you're a mess. Can't you do something about this hair?
Oh, it's the tragedy of my life. Even when I was young, I looked like an alcoholic. Complete failure with women. What's wrong with your mother?
Wrong? She's bored. And she's jealous. She's got it in for me, and she's got it in for my play because I've given the part to Nina and not to her. Oh. She hasn't read my play, of course, but she already hates it.
Oh, come on. You're
She can't bear the thought of Nina, not her, getting all the attention, even in something so small scale. Because it's not as if my mother isn't a sensitive and intelligent person who genuinely cares about the world, but try saying something nice to her about another actress. Oof, big mistake. Nice things can be said only about her. Magazine features written only about her. She needs to have people constantly raving about her heartbreaking Cordelia or her waif like Juliet, and because out here in the country, she's no way of free of feeding her addiction, she gets bored and angry. We're all her enemies. We're all to blame. And talk about mean. Oof. We both know for a fact she's got a good $700,000 stashed away in a Black Sea bank account. But ask her for money and she has a fit.
Come on, your mother worships you.
Worships me? No, I don't think so. She still sees herself as some kind of party-going femme fatale. But the problem is she's got a 25-year-old son. And when I'm not around, she's only 32. But when I'm here, she's 43. And she hates me for it. Plus, she knows I detest her darling theater. She loves it, imagines it's her sacred contribution to society. But if you ask me, this theater of hers is death. When the curtain goes up on yet another adapted novel or some piece of vapid social commentary masquerading as art, when shouting and banging the scenery is mistaken for good acting, when the writers think that dialogue means the fluent exchange of platitudes, when I see people churn out the same theatrical cliches time after time after time, I want to scream. And just scream, like the man in Munch's picture.
No, we still need theatre.
But we need to start again. If we can't start again from scratch, start again. Make new forms. Better to completely stop. I love my mother. I love her to death. But her life's meaningless. Trailing around after her novelist friend. Name all over the papers. I'm sick of it. Yes, I realize some of it's egotistical. When I find myself thinking how much happier I'd be if she wasn't famous. If she was just a run-of-the-mill mother, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I used to feel so stupid when all her celebrity artist people turned up at her flat and I'd be the only non-entity. Tolerated simply because I was her son. Because what could I say about myself? No special skills, no money, and because I'd been stupid enough to play politics at university, not even a degree. So when all these artists and writers deigned to show an interest, I always knew that what they were actually doing was putting me in my place.
So what do you make of this novelist friend? He doesn't say much.
He's a nice enough person, hugely successful. but hardly a major talent. Put it this way. If you've read Tolstoy, you don't need to read Trigorin.
Well, I'd be happy to settle for a minor talent, or any talent at all, come to think of it.
Well, listen. Oh, she's incredible. Even her footsteps sound beautiful, don't you think?
Am I late? Promise me I'm not late.
No.
I've been worrying all day. I was so scared. I thought my father would stop me coming. Then he and my stepmother went out. The sky is red. The moon's already rising, and there's me driving the horse on and on and on. I'm so happy.
Those pretty eyes look more like they've been crying.
Oh, it's nothing. Just out of breath. In half an hour, I need to get back, so please, let's hurry. Please, don't make me late. My father doesn't know I'm here.
All right, then let's call everyone and start.
Let me.
I shouldn't be here. They think I'll be corrupted. but I'm drawn here to the lake, like a seagull.
We're alone.
Somebody's there.
No one.
They kiss.
What's that tree?
An elm.
Why is it so dark?
It's evening. Everything's dark. Please stay for longer.
Oh, no.
Or I could come to your house.
No.
I love you. Yakov?
Yes?
Okay, final checks, please. We're about to start.
Yes, sir.
And remember that the sulfur and the splashing noise have the same cue. Nervous?
Very. It's not so much your mother, but acting in front of Alexei Trigorin, the writer. I'm terrified. He's so famous. Is he young?
Yes.
His stories are wonderful.
Oh, are they? I've never read them.
Your play's so difficult to act. My character's not real.
Not real. I've told you, the material world is an illusion. What counts is the world of dreams.
And nothing really happens. It's all talking. and I'm not sure a play is really a play unless it has some kind of message. Don't you think?
A message?
Yes, about love or, I don't know, people's feelings, relationships. Why is that funny?
Getting damp. Go back and get your overcoat.
I'm hot.
Why won't you look after yourself? You're so stubborn. You know damp air's bad for you, but you just like making me worry. Yesterday, you spent the whole evening out on the terrace quite deliberately. But I suppose you found your little conversation with Irina Arkadina so totally fascinating you didn't notice the cold. Am I right?
I'm 55.
So, that's not old for a man. You certainly don't look old, and women still find you attractive, as you very well know.
So what are you suggesting I do?
Why are men all so obsessed by actresses?
If people idealize performers and tend to treat them differently from, say, pig farmers, then that's just how the world operates. It's outside of our control.
Women have always been all over you. I suppose you can't control that either.
What if they have? Women have always been very good to me, of course, but mainly because they could trust me professionally. 10, 15 years ago, as you very well know, I was the only reliable obstetrician this district had. Doesn't mean I've abandoned you, or Masha either.
I'm sorry. I know you haven't.
Don't. Someone's coming.
Yakov, hurry up! The moon!
Yakov closes the curtain, shutting off a portion of the terrace and concealing Polina and Dorn. As Nina prepares to perform the play, enter unseen Arkadina, Soren, Trigorin, Shamraev, Medovinko, and Masha.
You should have seen her when, was it 15? No, I tell a lie. 20. It was 20 years ago. I first saw you at Poltava Agricultural Show. Amazing acting, even in a place like that. And that colleague of yours, the comic actor, Pavel something, brilliant in Ostrovsky. Pavel Khadin. Whatever happened to him?
You keep asking me about dinosaurs. How should I know?
Khadin, Pavel Khadin. There's no one like that left. The theater's gone downhill. In the past, there were mighty oaks. Now all we see are the stumps.
There may be fewer geniuses about, but the average actor has significantly improved.
I don't agree. Still, it's a matter of taste, for which, as the poet says, there is no accounting.
Aren't you starting?
One more minute. Give me a chance.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty.
Yakov makes a sound cue. Konstantin goes through the curtain, leaving only Nina and the servants who are stage managing the play visible to the audience.
Ready, everyone? Let's begin. Spirits, nighttime spirits of the lake, rock us asleep and let us dream of things 100 million years from now.
100 million years from now, there won't be anything.
Well, then let's see what that not nothing looks like.
Yes, let's. We're asleep.
The curtain opens, revealing Arkadina, Trigorin, Soren, Polina, Shamraev, Masha, Medvienko, and Dorn. Konstantin goes to the piano and accompanies Nina as she speaks.
Everything human, everything animal, everything plant, stem, green tendril, blade of grass. Each living cell has divided and divided and divided and died for millions of years. Now this earth is ash, this lake thick like mercury. No boat lands on the empty shore. No wading bird stands in the shallows. And the moon, look, picks her way like a looter through the ruined houses of the dead, slicing open her white fingers on the sheets of smashed glass. Cold, blank, distant. The brutal, material struggle of individuals has ended. Only the steady heartbeat of the world goes on. I am that heartbeat. I am the blood moving under the skin. I am the slow pulse of the universal will.
Yakov does a lighting effect.
Is this one of those experimental things?
Mother!
I am alone. Once in 100,000 years I try to speak, but my mouth fills with brick dust and broken glass. Nobody hears me. Not the moon. Not the pale fires ringing the cracked horizon, billions of atoms chaotically changing. Only the steady heartbeat of the world does not change. Slow, deep, implacable.
Sound of the other approaching through the water. A cloud of gas is released. Nina turns to face the lake.
And now my enemy approaches, the violent other origin of material brutality. I can hear his body churn the lake.
Yes.
Smell his foul breath. I can see his terrifying lidless eyes. The violent other hoping to bind the steel wire of reason round my white,
Doctor is doffing his hat to the
throat,
violent other.
hard,
material
bitter, restless.
Stop the play. Stop.
What are you so angry about?
No, stop the play. Stop the play. Stop. Forgive me. I forgot that writing and acting is the privilege of the chosen few, whose monopoly I've somehow infringed. But I...
What on earth is he talking about?
Sweetheart, you hurt his pride.
How?
You humiliated him.
Humiliated him? Oh, he's the one who came and told me it was just for fun, so that's exactly how I treated it.
Well, yes, but the thing is...
Well, then, it turns out it's meant to be a great work of art. Doing his little show and choking us all with poison gas isn't in fact remotely just for fun. It's a lesson in how to write and what to act in. Or in other words, completely boring. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not prepared to be constantly got at. He's ungracious and conceited.
He wanted to please you.
Really? Then why didn't he choose a normal play? I mean, why force us to sit through his experimental mumbo-jumbo? If it really was just for fun, fine. I could put up with it. But he obviously thinks he's reinventing the form, revolutionizing the theater. But he's not revolutionizing anything. Just being obnoxious.
Writer can only write what a writer writes.
He's welcome to write what a writer writes. Just leave me out of it.
But you don't have to be so angry.
I'll be what I like, thank you very much. And I'm not angry, just upset to see my son wasting his life. I wasn't trying to humiliate him.
Can't really separate the spiritual from the material, because the spiritual may turn out to be material at the atomic level. But what someone should really write a play about is what it's like being a school teacher. It's hard.
Yeah.
Life's hard.
You're right. But no more talking about plays or atomic levels. What a beautiful evening. Is someone playing music? Ah, how lovely.
It's on the other side.
10, 15 years ago, here on this lake, there was always music and singing, almost every evening. On that shore opposite, there were 6 big houses, people laughing, noise, guns going off, and love affairs. Endless love affairs. And the young man most in demand, in fact, idolized at all 6, was none other than my good friend, the doctor here. Today, still highly attractive, but in those days, irresistible. Why did I upset Konstantin like that? Konstantin! Kostya! Konstantin!
I'll go and look for him.
Would you?
Hello? Konstantin? Hello?
We're obviously not going on. I might as well come out.
Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo! Bravo! We thought you were wonderful. The way you look, that gorgeous voice. It's criminal to be stuck out here in the country. You have real talent. I'm serious. You owe it to yourself to act.
That's my dream. But it'll never happen.
Who can say? There's someone I'd like you to meet. Alexei Trigorin.
I'm so thrilled. I read everything you write.
Oh, don't be embarrassed. He's famous, but he's still just a normal human being. You see, he's as embarrassed as you are. Don't.
Can we get this curtain hooked up? It's giving me the creeps.
Yakov, can we hook up this curtain?
Weird play, don't you think?
I didn't understand a word, but enjoyed watching it. You acted so truthfully. And the scenery was wonderful. There'll be a lot of fish in this lake.
Yes.
I love fishing. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than sitting on a riverbank at the end of a day, just watching the float.
But doesn't your own creative pleasure make all other pleasures irrelevant?
Be careful. When people use words like creative, he has a tendency to cringe.
I remember being at Moscow Opera when Silva was going for bottom seat. One of the basses from our own church choir happened to be up in the gallery, and we were suddenly amazed to hear coming from the gallery, "Bravo, Silva!" Whole octave lower, like this. "Bravo, Silva!" The whole audience froze.
Someone just passed over our graves.
I have to go.
Where? Oh, it's too early. We won't let you.
My father will be waiting.
That man. But what can we do? It's a shame, a real shame to let you go.
If only you knew how hard it is for me to leave.
Well, someone should see you home, you poor thing.
No.
Please stay.
I can't.
Stay one more hour. Come on, say yes.
Impossible.
Oh, that girl's been so unlucky. Turns out her mother left a vast fortune to her father, and now her father's already willed it all to his second wife, leaving her quite literally with nothing. It's outrageous.
Yes, I think we can safely say her darling father's a complete bastard.
Oh, come on, friends, let's all go. It's beginning to drizzle and my legs hurt.
The wonder is he hath endured so long. Come on, you old wreck.
Madame?
That dog's howling again. My dear Ilya, will you please get someone to untie that dog?
Oh, not possible. Sorry, thieves might break into the barn. I've got Millet in there. Whole octave lower. Bravo, Silva! Just an extraordinary member of a church choir.
And how much do you reckon an ordinary member of a church choir gets paid?
I'm not sure, but they do get paid.
Well, there must be something. An allowance, free meal.
They've all gone then?
I'm here.
Masha's been all over the grounds looking for me. I can't stand her.
Konstantin, I really enjoyed your play. A bit weird, and I don't know how it ends, but it made a real impression. When she was talking like that about being alone, the ruined houses, then the thing about steel wire, my hands were shaking. You're a talented person, and you mustn't give up. Oh, come on, stop looking so tense. Please don't cry. What is it I'm trying to say? What was so good was that you weren't afraid to tackle a really big idea, which I admire. What's wrong?
Do you think I should carry on?
Of course. But make sure you focus on the things that really matter. Because look at me. I've had plenty of enjoyment out of life, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. But if I'd ever had the chance like you to be truly creative, then I'd have lived in a completely different way. Do you know what I mean? Not so material.
Where's Nina?
The other thing is, to be clear, you've got something to say. Because however talented you are, if you don't have anything to say, you'll end up just drifting and hating yourself.
Where's Nina?
She went home.
What do you mean went home? What? I haven't seen her. I can't not see her.
Hey. Calm down.
I can't not see her. I can't.
Konstantin, please come indoors. Your mother's waiting. She's worried.
Well, tell her I'm not here. And please, will you stop following me around? You make me sick.
Hey. Don't talk to her like that.
Goodbye, doctor. Thank you.
He doesn't mean it.
That's what people always say when somebody's telling the truth.
That's disgusting. Throw those away. Do you think they're dancing? Let's go inside.
Please wait.
What?
Can I just talk to you for a moment? Please? My father doesn't care, and you're the only person I can say this to. Help me. Please help me, or I'm going to do something really stupid, mess up my life.
What do you mean? Help you how?
Hurts so much. Nobody knows how much it hurts. I'm in love with Konstantin.
What's making you all so tense and so love obsessed? Must be the lake. What can I do, my poor sweetheart? What can I do?
Blackout. Act 2. Dining room. Just before lunch.
Come on your feet. Closer. Right. You're 22 and I'm nearly twice that. Evgeny, who looks younger?
You, obviously.
Exactly. Like a little bird. I could play a 15-year-old. The reason? I work, I travel, I participate. While you are always glued to your seat. You don't have life. My rule is don't try seeing ahead. I refuse to contemplate growing old. Or dying. The future will happen when it happens.
But I feel like I was born years and years ago, and I'm dragging my life behind me like some kind of never-ending dress. Often, I don't even want a life. Yes, I'm talking rubbish. Pull yourself together. Get over it.
Well, take a look at this. Our father and stepmother have gone away, and we have 3 whole days of freedom.
I'm so happy. I'm completely in your hands.
And looking so very pretty today.
Nicely dressed, not unattractive, and very, very sweet. Where is Alexei?
Down by the swimming hut, fishing.
He must be bored out of his brain.
What is it you're reading?
Maupassant, about writers. He says a woman inviting a writer into her house is like a miller inviting a rat into the granary. Can someone please tell me what's gotten into my son? Why he's being so horrid and depressed? He's out on that lake all day long and I hardly ever see him.
He's unhappy. Please, would you do us a bit of his play?
Really? It's so boring.
Not when he does it. When he reads it himself, somehow it comes alive. Don't you think? And his voice makes it so sad and beautiful.
Sweet dreams.
Petrusha!
Huh?
Are you asleep?
Not remotely.
You won't take your medication. That's the problem.
I'd be happy to take my medication, but the doctor here says it's not worth prescribing.
Medication at 60?
I still want to live.
Fine. Take vitamins.
I think he'd benefit from going to Baden-Baden. Don't you?
Well, he might benefit from going to Baden-Baden, or of course he might not.
Meaning?
Meaning nothing. Meaning just that.
I think your brother should give up smoking.
Rubbish.
Not rubbish at all. Drinking and smoking alter people's personalities. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. And I can tell you, I've been on pretty intimate terms with both.
Very good. Spoken like a real man of the world. Like a man who's really lived and not spent 28 years of his life like me stagnating in a government department. You've seen it all already. Good for you. But I've seen precisely nothing. And consequently, want a life. And if that means smoking cigars and having a few drinks, or whatever, with my dinner, then to hell with it.
Life's to be lived, yes, but for a 60-year-old man to imagine I can write a prescription that's going to compensate for his wasted youth is, well, I'm sorry, but it's a joke.
I'll see what's happening in the kitchen. My leg's gone dead.
She's off for her 2 shots before lunch.
Poor child. She's so deeply unhappy.
With respect, that's rubbish.
You say that because you've already lived.
Country boredom is so uniquely and charmingly boring, don't you think? It's hot, quiet, nothing to do, everyone picking away at things. Oh, friends, I do enjoy your company, don't get me wrong. But sitting in a hotel room learning a part, nothing beats that.
Absolutely. I completely understand.
Well, of course, it's better in town. You've got telephones and cabs on the street. Whatever.
Here they all are. Good morning. Good morning. And looking so well. My wife tells me the 2 of you were planning to go into the town this afternoon. Is that right?
Planning to, yes.
Excellent. But with respect, how were you intending to get there? We are moving the ride. All the men are busy. And precisely which horses did you imagine you could take?
Which horses? How do I know which horses?
The carriage horses.
The carriage horse? And how exactly am I supposed to tack them up? How exactly do I tack them up? Amazing. Unbelievable. With respect, forgive me. Because I admire your talent and would willingly give you 10 years of my life. Horses, not possible.
But what if I have to go? Most odd.
I'm sorry, but I'm actually trying to run a farm here.
Same old story. Well, in that case, I'm going straight back to Moscow. Either hire me some horses for the village, or I'm walking to the station.
Well, in that case, I resign. Find yourself another manager.
Every summer's the same. Every summer here, they humiliate me. I'm going. And this time, I won't be coming back.
Jesus Christ. What the hell got into him now? I'm totally sick of this. I want every horse here now.
How can he say that to Irina Arkadina? Whatever she wants is more important than running a stupid farm.
What can I do? Put yourself in my position. What can I do?
Let's go and talk to her. We'll all beg her not to leave, agreed? Revolting man, bully.
Oh, but sit still, we'll take you. This is so awful.
Yes, awful. But he won't resign. I'll talk to him.
God, the way they behave. They should have kicked out your darling husband years ago. But of course, it will end up with that old fool in the wheelchair and his sister begging for his forgiveness. Typical.
And what he didn't say was he's got the carriage horses out in the fields as well. He's so bloody stupid and pig-headed. Why does it always have to be like this? Day after day after day of it. Evgeny, please, just get me away from here. And our poor Masha. Life's nearly over, please. Can't we just tell everyone the truth?
I'm 55. It's too late.
I know you're saying that because there's not just me. There are other women as well. I do understand, but you can't live with all of them. I'm sorry. I know I'm boring.
No, not at all.
I'm so jealous, but you can't avoid women, obviously. It's your job. I do understand.
How's things?
Irina's crying and her brother's having an asthma attack. It's so weird, isn't it, to see a famous actress crying? And for no reason.
I'd better go in.
For you.
Thank you, mademoiselle.
What exquisite flowers. Give me those flowers. I said, give me those flowers.
She tears them to pieces and throws them on the floor. Konstantin enters from the garden with a rifle and a dead seagull.
Alone?
Yes, why? What does this mean?
I was sick-minded enough today to kill this skull. I placed it before you.
What's wrong with you?
Soon, I shall kill myself the same way.
You're not making any sense.
Neither are you. Look at you. You'd rather I wasn't even here.
Stop being so angry. Why do you have to make everything so incredibly complicated? This is obviously meant to be some kind of symbol. But I'm sorry. I don't see it. I must just be too stupid to see it.
I burnt my play. I thought you'd like to know. I cannot believe that you are behaving like this. It's like waking up and seeing this lake evaporate, drain away into the earth. You're not stupid. So don't pretend.
Hello?
Hello. What's this?
A seagull. Konstantin killed it.
It's extraordinary. Well, seems we have to leave. So we're unlikely to meet again. Sadly, I don't often get to meet young women. I mean, young and interesting. And I've completely forgotten what it's like being only 18 or 19, which is why the girls in my stories are never quite real. I'll spend just 1 hour being you so I could get inside that little head of yours and find out what really goes on in there.
Well, I'd like to be you.
Why's that?
To know what it feels like being a famous writer. What makes you most aware of it?
Aware of it? Nothing. I've never thought about it. Either you're making me out more famous than I really am, or fame's not something I'm ever aware of.
But surely, when you read about yourself in the papers...
Great when it's good, and when it's bad, for a couple of days I get depressed.
But it's a different universe. You've no idea how jealous I am. Most of us just drag ourselves through lives of total monotony. Everyone the same, everyone unhappy, while people like you, the 1 in a million like you, lead brilliant, fascinating lives that actually mean something and make you happy.
Me. I'm sorry, but words like brilliant and famous and fascinating are, forgive me, like the kind of sticky pudding I never eat. You are very young and very kind.
It doesn't mean you have to condescend to me.
Oh, really? Fine then. Listen, do you know what a fixed idea is? Like when someone obsesses about, God knows what, the moon. Right? Well, my moon, my single obsessive thought is writing. Write. write. It's a compulsion. I finish one story, and for whatever reason, straight away, I'm forced to begin the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, on and on and on and on, endlessly. That's how it is. Brilliant and meaningful, obsessive compulsive, more like it. Here I am, for example, talking to you now, genuinely talking. But at the same time, I know there's always a story lurking. I see a cloud, for instance, one like a grand piano. And I'm thinking, I must get that cloud like a grand piano into my story. Or I smell the jasmine, and I think, jasmine, white stars, heavy scent used to describe a summer evening. Every word that you or I are saying now is being spiked on a pin and stored in a special box marked literature. And even when I stop working and drag myself off to the theater or out fishing to forget, to empty my mind, can't. There's this great steel ball rolling around my skull. New idea, back to the desk. Right. That's how it is. That's how it always is. No peace. Not even for myself. I don't have a life. You see, I just like raw material.
But surely writing and being creative gives you an incredible feeling.
Yes. Writing's very nice. And reading the proofs is nice, but as soon as the stuff comes out in print, I hate it. I see all the faults. It's a mistake to have even written it, which is when all the self-loathing starts and and people go, oh, yes, it's very competent, but Turgenev's better, or very accomplished writing, but it's hardly War and Peace. And I will go on being accomplished and competent and failing to write War and Peace until the day I die.
I'm sorry, but you're not making sense. You've been spoiled by success.
Success? Writing is one long self-punishment, I'm afraid. It would be fine if you could spend your whole life just describing landscapes, water, for example, trees, the sky, the things I can write about almost instinctively. But the fact is, writers have responsibilities. We can't not engage. We're expected to have views about things, science, social justice, human rights, women's rights. You name it. So that's what I do. I go jumping from one set of issues to the next, while all the time, life itself, the one thing that really matters, moves further and further away. And I'm left standing on the platform, watching it disappear like a peasant who's missed the train.
You're too close to what you do. Just because you're so self-critical doesn't mean you're not a great writer.
A great writer? What, like Shakespeare?
If I was lucky enough to be able to write or act, I'd put up with any amount of poverty or disappointment or disapproval from my family. I'd live in just one room and eat only black bread, and of course I'd be self-critical and aware of all my faults, but in return, I'd have to be famous. Totally, incredibly famous. Oh. I'm losing my balance. Oh, weird.
Alexei?
I'm wanted. But I don't really feel like leaving. It's truly special here. It's amazing.
You know the house and garden on the other side?
Yes.
It was my mother's when she was alive. I was born there. I've spent my whole life by this lake, and I know every tiny island.
Wonderful place to live. Huh.
What?
Nothing. Just an idea. Idea for a story. Young girl lives on shore of lake since childhood, like you. Loves the lake, like the seagull. Is happy and free, like the seagull. And one day a man turns up, sees her, and mindlessly destroys her, just like this seagull.
Alexei?
What is it?
We're staying.
It's a dream.
Act 3. A corridor in the house. Early morning. Signs of preparation for departure. Trigorin and Masha.
Look, you're a writer, so you can put this in one of your novels. If he'd really done it, killed himself, I honestly couldn't have gone on living. But as it is, I've made up my mind. My plan is to cut love right out of me.
How?
Get married to Semyon.
But this school teacher.
Yes.
And the point?
The point is I stop waiting for something that will never happen. Get married, and I won't even have time to think about it. Love. I mean, too many responsibilities. Make a nice change. Top up?
Is that wise?
Spare me. And don't look at me like that. You think women don't drink? Of course they do. Only most of them do it in secret. Yes, vodka and brandy. Cheers. I miss you.
Well, I'm going to miss being here.
Then make her stay.
She won't. Not after what's happened.
Well, look, I wish you all the very best. Please don't think I'm a bad person. It was very kind of you to listen. I'll expect a signed copy of your next book, and you can put, for Masha. No idea where she comes from. No idea what she's living for. Goodbye.
Odd or even?
Even.
Wrong. Look, just one P. If you'd said odd, it would have meant be an actress. I don't know what to do. I need advice.
It's not possible to give advice.
Listen, you're leaving and I may never see you again. It's one of yours. When day turns to night, I want you to write in it for me.
Of course. I'd love to. What shall I put?
Not now, please. Later. When you've looked at it.
Oh. All right, later then.
Think of me sometimes.
Of course I will. I'll think how you looked in the sunlight, remember, last week, in that wonderful dress? We were both talking and there was a white gull.
Yes, the Seagull. There's somebody coming.
You ought to be staying indoors. You're not well enough to go socializing.
Remember the book. You're not to leave without seeing me.
Who was that? Nina?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry if we disturbed you. Alexei?
What?
He asked you a question about the fishing rods.
Yes, fine. Pack them. But not the books. You can give them away.
I'm serious, Petrushia. You stay here in the house.
Oh, I don't want to be left here on my own.
But why go into town?
Oh, no reason. God knows. Watch local government in action. whatever. The horses will be here in 15 minutes. We can leave at the same time.
Well, don't get too bored. And don't catch cold. And keep your eye on Konstantin. Take care of him. Sort him out. Why did he do that to himself?
Look, how can I put this? He's young. He's bright. He's stuck out here in the country, got no money, no status, and no future. Now, I love the boy enormously, and he's very attached to me, but at the same time he knows he's redundant here and is basically, well, scrounging.
He really worries me. Perhaps we should find him a job.
Well, the best thing might be if you gave him a little money. I'd say some new clothes would make a major difference. He's had on that same old jacket now for the past 3 years, and he's no winter coat. Wouldn't hurt him to enjoy life either, would it? Travel. Do Europe. Whatever. Wouldn't cost the earth.
Well, yes. Well, maybe some new clothes. But as for Europe, no, I can't. Not even clothes. I don't have the money. I don't.
Of course not. Forgive me. Don't be angry. I believe you. You're always exceptionally kind and generous.
I don't have the money.
Well, if I had the money, well, obviously I'd pay for him myself, no questions asked. But I've got nothing. Not 1 penny. All of my pension goes straight to Ilya, who then proceeds to experiment with his cattle breeding or beekeeping or whatever it is. And that's the last I ever see of it. The bees die, the cows die, and the horses are never available.
Well, of course I've got some money, but there's my work. You know, we have to pay for everything, even our own costumes.
You're very kind and very good. Of course you are, of course you are.
Patricia? Oh, Patricia, come on, stand up. Will somebody please help me? Oh, he looked like he was going to collapse.
Oh, nonsense. Nonsense. Oh. You see? Totally recovered.
This is what he does now. It's nothing. We're used to it, aren't we? Yeah? You need a little lie down, don't you?
Well, yes, just a little one. But I'm still going into town. A little lie down, and then I'm off. No questions asked.
I remember that riddle on 4 legs in the morning, at 1, on 2 at noon, and in the evening on 3.
Oh. A nighttime flat on his back. Don't remind me, please. I can't manage on my own.
No, come on, let me help.
He had me terrified.
Living out here isn't good for him. Makes him fret. On the other hand, if you suddenly went mad and lent him, 20,000? He could start living in town.
I have no money. I'm an actress, not a banker.
Will you change my bandage? You're really good at it.
The doctor's late.
Promised to be here by 8, and it's nearly 11 o'clock.
Sit down. Well, you do look funny. Like a cross between a wounded soldier and an Egyptian mummy. There. Oh. See? Oh, it's almost completely healed. Just scratches, really. No more silly guns when I've gone.
Of course not. It was stupid. I lost control. Won't happen again. Your hands are so magic. Remember, ages ago you were starting out and I was like, still a tiny little kid. Remember that fight in our building when the laundry woman got seriously injured? She had to be carried back to her room. And you visited her every day. Took her medicine, washed her children in an old metal bath. You must remember.
No.
Oh, then there were the two ballet dancers living upstairs. They used to come in for coffee.
All right, them I remember.
They were both really religious. Just recently, these last few days, I started loving you without even thinking about it. Just like when I was little. Apart from you, I have nobody left. Which is... Why is it? Why is it you let that man control you?
You don't understand him, Konstantin. Morally, he's scrupulous.
Oh, yes, so scrupulous that when he finds out I want to challenge him, he up and leaves.
Oh, rubbish. It's me making him leave. Listen, I don't expect you to approve of our relationship. But you're intelligent and civilized, and I'm entitled to ask you to respect my freedom.
I'll respect your freedom if you'll respect mine, which means letting me have an opinion. Morally scrupulous? He's got the two of us at each other's throats, and at the same time, he's in this house salivating over Nina and trying to convince her he's a genius.
Well, you obviously enjoy hurting my feelings. I respect that man, and I will not hear him abused.
Well, I don't. You'd like me to believe he's a genius as well, but I'm sorry. His writing makes me vomit.
Oh, you're jealous. People with no talent always try and belittle the ones with real talent, just like your father did.
Real talent? I've got more talent than all of them put together. It's reactionaries who grab the positions of power, decide what is or is not art, and suffocate the rest of us. I refuse to recognize your authority, and I refuse to recognize his.
Oh, grow up!
Oh, and go back to your precious theater and carry on doing your banal little dramas.
I have never done anything banal. How dare you? You can't even write one convincing scene. Just lounge about here, scrounging off my brother. It's sick.
Tight-fisted bitch!
Parasite! Non-entity. Don't cry. Oh, please don't cry. Please. You're not too. Sweetheart, forgive me. I'm a bad person. I'm sorry.
You don't realize I've got nothing. She doesn't love me. And I can't write anymore. dopeless.
Oh, come on. Don't give up. Things will sort out. He's leaving and she'll fall back in love with you. She will. All right? Friends?
Yes. Of course.
And you're to be friends with him too. No need for fighting, is there?
All right. But please. I don't want to have to see him. It's too painful. I don't have the energy. I'm going to go. The doctor can do this later.
Oh, they'll soon be round with the horses. I assume you've packed?
Of course I have. Listen, let's stay for one more day.
Mm.
One more day. Why not?
Because, sweetheart, I know exactly what you're after. So control yourself. You've been drinking. Try and act like a grown-up.
Then you be a grown-up too. It's not like we've locked ourselves into some kind of stereotypical marriage.
Just what is it, Alexei, you're trying to
And this
say
is
to me?
exactly what I need.
And what you need, huh? Going to bed with some clueless little child is what you need? You have
There's this
no idea.
We're having this conversation, but at the same time, there's this image of her in my head, and I can't get rid of it.
Don't want to get rid of it is what you mean. You cannot talk to me like this. Alexei, I am a normal person and I have normal feelings.
You are, but imagine waking up and she's next to you. She's right there. Her head's right there on the pillow, and she's looking straight into your eyes, completely open, totally trusting. And it's like she's taking you back to the exact point in your life where everything was possible, but you failed to realize you had the capacity to love, but we're simply too young to realize.
I do not want to hear this.
Let me.
Why is everybody today so determined to
You don't understand.
undermine me?
You don't want to understand.
Am I really so old and so ugly that I have to stand here and listen to you fantasize about that girl? Come on. Come on. This isn't serious. I mean, you can't be serious. She's just a child. Some silly little child who thinks she can act, huh? Because you know what would happen if you left me, don't you? Don't you? You know I wouldn't last 5 minutes without you, don't you? You know I'd die, don't you? Don't you know? I'd hurt myself. I'd kill myself, yes.
Someone will see.
Why shouldn't they see? Why shouldn't they see how much I love you? Oh, poor darling. You've got obsessed. You're obsessed and you want to do something stupid, but don't worry. I'm not going to let you. Because I know what you like. I know how you get obsessed, and I know you so well. Don't I? And your writing. I mean, it's always so clear and direct and funny and surprising. I mean, the way just a tiny detail makes a whole person or a whole landscape come alive. Yes? I mean, truly great. Oh, look at my eyes. Come on. Oh, look. Look at me. You see? Truly great. Truly the one great writer of your generation, and there is nobody else. No child, no stupid little child. I mean, whoever could appreciate or understand that truth as deeply, as passionately as I do.
I said, all right, I'll come.
But of course, if you want to stay on, then let's stay on. Or I'll go today and you come whenever you like. Sometime next week, if you'd rather.
No, come today.
Because what you do is completely your decision. What is it?
It's just this thing somebody said today. The forest looks angry. Forest looks angry. Not bad. Well, that's it then. Railway stations, railway trains, railway food, and railway conversations.
Don't want to disturb you, but with respect, the horses are ready. Time to leave for the station. Train goes at 12:05. Oh, and you won't forget, will you, to ask about Semenov? That's assuming he's still alive. We used to go drinking together. He was amazing in Murder in Minsk. Him and Konachikov. He was a character. Where was it? I know, Petersburg. Really, there's no panic. We still got 5 minutes. Anyway, the two of them were in this thriller playing subversives. And when they got caught, they had to say, "We repent. We acknowledge the Tsar." Only Konachikov goes, "We abolish the Tsar." Oh, abolish the Tsar.
I've brought you some plums, nice sweet ones. I thought you might like them for the journey.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Polina.
Do take care, and I'm sorry if things haven't been as they should have been.
Everything's been marvelous. Come on. There's no need to cry.
Time goes by so fast.
No use complaining.
Soren, sir, you have something to say?
We should go. We'll end up missing the train. He's probably outside.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to walk. If I can hurry, I'll see you off from the station. Bye-bye.
My dear friends, goodbye. Goodbye. Until next summer, with any luck. Oh, don't forget me. And this is for the three of you.
Thank you. Have a good journey. Much appreciated.
Please write to us, won't you? Goodbye. Have a good trip.
Where's Konstantin? Well, tell him I'm leaving. We need to say goodbye. Well, think of me, yes? Now, I've given something to the cook. It's for you three to share.
As they all go, there's the sound of people being seen off. The maid comes back to get the basket of plums and goes out again. Trigorin then comes in looking for something. Nina enters.
Forgot my rods. We were just leaving.
And I came to get my book back. Weird.
The thing you wrote in it, did you mean that?
Why wouldn't I mean it? Listen, Alexei, I've made up my mind about acting. I'm leaving. I'm leaving home, leaving my father. I'm coming to Moscow. How do I find you?
Do you know the Hotel Rubliev?
He gets out his notebook and draws her a map.
I'll show you. Look, this is the station, and this is Boulevard Malinovsky, and here, look, is the hotel. Check into a room and wait. I have to go.
Stay one more minute?
I can't.
Two years elapse before the following act. But we are going to only take 5 minutes before our following act. Intermission, 5 minutes. We'll see you in 5.
That was legitimately the smoothest transition I've ever heard in my life. Good job, Jonathan.
I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Yeah, we cuss, Hayden, but the kind of cussing we do is like worse.
They must be used to me by now, though.
And Val's dad might be here. It's all about Val's dad. I don't want to.
Right. So the difference between PG-13 cussing and R-rated cussing. Gotcha.
X-rated cussing.
My father is not here.
Okay. Well, fuck. All right.
All right, well.
Fuck y'all.
How the fuck are you, Val?
Yeah. I sound like I'm dying.
You do.
You sound a little
I said, go
better.
get goat throat. Or get somebody get your goat throat.
Don't I sound so sexy? I sound great.
I know. Oh, I know what I want you to do.
£1 a minute for this conversation.
Do you have throat coat tea? Do you have things? Do you have somebody to bring you tea?
I want you to sing Smelly Cat for me.
Oh my God. I got that reference. Well, I was fine until I wasn't really speaking at all today. And then Lauren Schuler video timed with me because she's hanging out with Matt Sidney right now, and who are members of CCC. And I had talked to them for like an hour, and then of course, boom! Like my voice, I was just like, "Oh, this is not good." But I sound so hot right now. It's fine. But yeah, no, I'm Erin. I'm okay. I've got water. I've got tea. I've got seltzer. I took all my steroids. Oh God, I really.
If you're on steroids, be careful.
My sister.
Yeah, you might become a Russian skater.
Yeah. Or you might have to tell someone, I can't, I have tech.
Oh my God. I read about that on the news and I was like, you have to be kidding me. Anyway, no, you guys are doing so well. I'm sorry that I hopped on so late. But this is so good. Oh, bravi.
Poor baby.
Also,
I'm okay. I had to call out of work again. I'm called out of work again tomorrow. I took another day. I was like, I can't answer the phones like this. My mother was, my mom was like, she's like, are you nuts? You can't go to work. And then apparently my supervisor, I called into work to call out and she wasn't there. So I sent her an email and left it all this stuff. But hi, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Anyway. But it's so good. This is a wonderful, wonderful read.
Oh, thanks. It's so much fun. I've never read this before, but she reminds me of something a movie, Being Julia.
Oh yes. Yes.
I swear, is Julia is Julia based on this character?
Or it reminds me of not only being Julia, but the one who couldn't sing. The film about the woman who couldn't sing.
Oh, the woman who couldn't sing. Oh, Florence something or other.
Florence Nightingale.
Florence Foster Jenkins.
That's it.
I was going to say, no, Florence Nightingale is a real person.
She does sing.
Yeah, and she does sing. And
She's kind of known for singing.
Me personally, I thought you were evoking a lot of Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a little bit of that in there too, kind of creeped in, I guess. Yeah.
And at some point, it was kind of Joan Crawford from Mommy Dearest.
Well, I was told it was allowed to chew scenery, so.
and you made a meal out of the scenery, Marcia. You made a damn meal out of it.
Too much?
Crop scenery.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I was about to say, Marcia, how the hell is this your first time reading Seagull? That was masterful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, honey. Even I was going, oh my God, I probably should have read this first before I started doing it. It's wonderful. I'm having so much fun doing it and listening to everybody else. These are great. These scenes are great.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I totally missed that good cover about the fishing poles. I am sorry, I missed it. I was like, what the? Oh.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out how to say it. I was like, can I say it and get away with it? I was just trying to figure it out.
I'm like, something about the fishing poles.
There's nothing like improv Chekhov. So
it's like that movie moment where the focus is on that one guy and everything just fades out, so you don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden, boom, reality comes back in.
I think, Val, if it's available, we should read That Fucking Bird by Aaron Posner.
Stupid fucking birds! Stupid fucking birds! Stupid fucking birds!
That's it.
What's with these birds everywhere?
Fucking bird.
I really, really want to read that, just so that it we've done the Seagull. Now it's time for the parody of the Seagull.
And it's a really good play.
It's hysterical.
Stupid Fucking Bird is a great play.
I've never read it.
That's why I named the Facebook group Vanya and his Stupid Effing Bird.
I'd be in.
God, the list of stuff that we have to do is getting so long.
We'll conquer it. Don't worry.
I know. No, I know.
There's also
we
two other Chekhov plays too. Just saying.
Oh yeah, the bear.
Okay, you have my play.
Sisters.
Yeah.
Cherry Orchard.
Cherry Orchard.
My sister did the Cherry Orchard. She loved it.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, I love Three Sisters.
Mm-hmm. Danny Botos wants to do Three Sisters, and so does Tim Perfect. So maybe we'll do that in the summer. But how is everybody doing? Everyone's doing okay.
Oh, we're doing fine, sweetie.
Val?
You need some tea with lemon and honey. That'll make you feel better.
Get your sister to get you gummy bears as well. They help out.
She's got those.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
I have some gummy bears in my cupboard.
You, Marcia.
My daughter gave them to me for Christmas.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to share this one with you because I just got it today. It's obviously cannabis infused, but it's Blues Brothers branded fried chicken and cola dark chocolate. This is a
Oh my
thing that
God.
exists in the world.
Oh my
What
God.
witchcraft
God.
is this?
I can't wrap my mind around that.
Wow.
Bizarre.
That just,
All
I
right.
can't even imagine. Have you smelled it or anything yet?
I haven't. I'm scared to open it.
Yeah,
Also-
I'm like,
No,
you must share when you try some.
yeah.
Are
So
we?
very
Are we?
quickly-
Is the 5 up?
No,
I thought I heard Jonathan say okay.
no, it's not up.
Oh, right. I should be doing shit like
So very
1 minute.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Very, very
I thought you
quickly.
said- I
Right.
totally.
I'll do the Anne Bogart. 5 minutes, 10 seconds. Exquisite
very,
pressure.
very quickly. This will take about a minute. So, my friend David, who has who's like a foodie, like everybody here is a foodie, right?
Mhm.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene's publicist slipped up. All right, I don't know if you heard this, right?
Wish her father slipped out. Anyway.
Yeah, everybody
Don't we
slipped
all?
up, right? But so she was headed to say the Gestapo police, but instead she says the Gestapo police. Okay.
Nice.
Now I took it a bit further. All right.
Oh no.
I took it a bit further than that, and I said on my Facebook that it has an old black and white photograph of the Nazis and paraphernalia and all that, right? And then obviously, right, came the description. The description says this: if you don't know, now we know. All we know now is that this is what the police do on their off time. Although next week we will be singing the Tomatoes. We will be singing the Tomato Song by Selma and Ella Fitzgerald, produced by IO Records, hunted down by Heinz, delivered by the mafia of chefs who are trained in the Culinary Institute of Keystone Cooks, which was trained by Marjorie Taylor Greene's failed publicist. Thanks. I'll be here next week when I'll report that the wall of tacos that was really made in Switzerland was really made in Mexico.
Places.
On that note.
On that
note, let's go.
I don't like this world. I want to be in Russia.
Oh, let's all
Everybody wants to be.
They don't know how good they have it. They don't have Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Back to Moscow.
No, they have something worse. It's called Vladimir Rasputin.
All right. Okay, so how does this work, Matt? Do I just start, or do you give me a count, or what's up? Are we just going? Okay. Got it. Okay, I thought there was some kind of like intermission-y thing. Well, all right, welcome back. All ships at sea. We now continue with our second part of Anton Chekhov's The Seagull, Act 4. The dining room in Soren's house now turned into a study for Konstantin, a writing table, the grand piano from Act 1, evening, sound of wind in trees, and one of the watchman's rattle. One lamp is on. Masha can be heard calling,
Konstantin? Konstantin? He's vanished. The old man keeps going, where's Kostya? Where's Kostya?
He's afraid of being alone. What horrible weather. 2 days it's been like this.
The lake. Huge ones.
The garden's so dark. We should have gotten them to take down that cedar. It's like a skeleton. And the curtains won't stop flapping. Yesterday evening, I thought I could hear someone behind it, crying.
Behind it?
Masha, let's go home.
I'm spending the night here.
Please, He'll be hungry.
Rubbish. Sophie will feed him.
That's 3 nights now you haven't been there.
God, you're pathetic. Sometimes you at least used to express an opinion. Now it's all baby this, baby that, baby, baby, baby. I'm sick of it.
Please.
You go.
Your father won't give me any horses.
Yeah, he will. Just go and ask.
And he'll come back tomorrow?
Right. Tomorrow. Nag, nag, nag.
Found him.
Oh. Well, I'm going. Goodbye, Masha. Goodbye, Polina.
Yes. Safe journey.
Goodbye, Konstantin.
Whoever would have thought you'd turn into a real writer? Stories in a magazine. Checks in the post. Not bad looking these days either. Kostya, sweetheart. Try and be a bit more friendly with my poor Masha.
Please leave it.
She's a sweet little thing. All a woman wants, Kostya, is the occasional friendly glance. I should know.
No, he's angry. Why can't you keep your mouth shut?
I feel sorry for you, sweetheart.
Great help, that is.
I know exactly what you're going through, and it breaks my heart.
Sick women only exist in novels. It's all rubbish. I'm not going to spend my life wasting away like some stupid princess in a tower. As soon as Semyon gets his transfer, we're leaving. End of story.
Konstantin begins to play the piano. After a moment, Masha begins dancing to the music. Then vehicle can be heard.
So, of course, what was my mother and Sophie, you can see how tight things are. More than 6 people to feed, and half my salary going just on bread.
Well, you still got the other half.
Very funny. But of course, you've got money to burn.
Money? I'll tell you something. In 30 years as a doctor, and that's 30 punishing years of being constantly on call, the most I've ever saved is $20,000, and I've just blown all that on traveling. I've got absolutely nothing.
I thought you were going.
I can't. He won't let me have a horse.
Why don't you just piss off?
Well, it's completely different. You've turned this dining room into a study.
Konstantin prefers it for working. He could use the garden when he wants to think.
Where's my sister?
Gone to the station to meet Alexei. She won't be long.
The way you've all summoned her here, I'm assuming I'm dangerously ill. I'm dangerously ill, but no one will prescribe me anything.
What would you like me to prescribe? Vitamins? Cod liver oil?
Oh, don't start all that again. Life's punishment enough. Not here, then.
Not yet.
I've got an idea for one of Konstantin's stories. The title is The Man Who Did Not. When I was young, I wanted to become a writer, but I did not. I wanted to speak intelligently. And did I speak intelligently? No, I did not. From which we can infer, whatever, no questions asked, blah, blah, blah. Even in the court I went on like that till it felt like my brain was sticking to my skull. I wanted to get married, but of course I did not. I was desperate to live in the town, but now look at me, stuck here in the country, rotting to death.
I wanted to be senior civil servant with a fat pension, and I succeeded.
Yes, but that wasn't an ambition. It just happened.
Come on. You're an old man. Stop complaining. It sounds so petty.
It's not petty to want a life.
You've had a life. But life ends. It's normal.
Oh, you say that because you've done things. You've done things with your life, so you don't care anymore. But even you'll find death frightening.
Fear of death is completely irrational, unless you're religious and think you'll get punished for your sins. But in your case, A, you're not exactly religious, and B, you've committed no sins. Unless we count 25 years as a civil servant.
28.
Oh, we're stopping Konstantin from working.
Doesn't matter.
So I was wondering, Doctor, which was your favorite foreign city?
Genoa.
Why Genoa?
It's the amazingly crowded streets. You come out of your hotel in the evening and the whole street's seething with people. You just get swept along, but nowhere in particular. You're just moving with the crowd, like you're all part of the same thought. Or like that speech Nina did in your play, Heartbeat of the World or something. What happened to her exactly?
Nina? I'm sure she's fine.
I heard her life got a bit chaotic. Is that true?
It's a long story.
Well, shorten it.
Well, after she ran away, she began seeing Alexei Trigorin. You knew that?
Yes.
She had a baby. The baby died. Trigorin left her and resumed his previous relationship, as you would expect. In fact, he'd never really given up, but somehow, revoltingly, juggled them both. So, as I understand it, her emotional life has been, well, fairly disastrous.
And acting?
Well, even worse, apparently. She started off with some kind of semi-professional outfit outside of Moscow, then went on tour. I followed her, in fact, and, well, I watched what she did. She got big parts, but her acting was really crude. Too much shouting and arm waving. I mean, once or twice she'd do something real, something truly electric, but only once or twice.
So she has got talent.
Yeah, probably. Who knows? Anyway, she totally refused to see me. What else can I say? I got back here and sometimes she'd write to me. She was lucid, generous, never complained. But she started signing herself Seagull. And that's what she kept calling herself in her letters. Now she's here.
What do you mean, now she's here?
Here in the town, in a hotel. She's been there for 5 days. I tried going, and so very kindly has Masha, but she won't see anyone. Semyon says he met her yesterday afternoon in a field about a mile from here.
That's right. She was heading towards the town. I said hello to her and asked her why she had to come to visit. She said she would.
She won't. Her father and stepmother have actually hired people to keep her off their property. It's one thing sorting life out on paper, something else to do it in reality.
She was entirely gorgeous.
I'm sorry? Say that again?
I said she was entirely gorgeous. Used to have quite a thing about her once.
You old lecher.
Sounds like they're back.
Age? What's age got to do with it?
Yeah, that's my
With
mother.
respect to everything, if you ask me.
I've really no idea what you mean.
What I mean is while the rest of us get old, get ground down by the elements, you're just as young as ever. Like dancing down that platform like a teenage girl.
Teenage girl. Rubbish. I don't believe a word of it.
There. Bearing up. Excellent. Masha.
You recognized me?
Married.
Ages ago.
Happy? See you. Hello again. Irina says you stopped being angry with me.
Alexei's brought the magazine with your new story in it.
Well, thank you. Very kind.
I bring you best wishes from your adoring fans. You make quite a stir in Petersburg and Moscow, and I've always being pestered about you. What's he like? How old is he? Is he good looking? For some reason, they all assume you're middle-aged. And because of this pseudonym, you managed to make yourself a true man of mystery.
Are you staying long?
No. Back to Moscow tomorrow, in fact. No choice. Story to finish, and I promised someone something for an anthology. It's the same old business, in fact.
Why don't we get the lotto out?
I think this weather's got it in for me. The wind out there's appalling. It's dropped by morning. I'm going down to the lake to fish. Another thing is I need to take a look at the garden, the place where you did your play, remember? I'm working on a new piece. Just have to remind myself about the location.
Daddy, Semyon needs a horse. He needs to go home.
Daddy, he needs a horse. You know just as well as I do, the horses are worn out. They're only just back from the station.
But you've got other ones. It's like talking to a brick wall.
It's fine, Masha. I can walk.
Walk? In this weather? Come on, everyone. Let's start.
It only takes a couple of hours. I'll see you tomorrow then, yes? Mwah. Good night, Polina. Mwah. I don't mean to cause any trouble. It's just the baby. So, good night, everyone.
He'll survive. It's not like he hasn't got legs.
Come on, hurry up. It'll be supper time.
This is what we do here autumn evenings. Play lotto. Do you want to join in? One game before supper? Look, these are the same old cards we had when we were little and played it with our mother. It's totally boring, but quite fun when you get the hang of it. What about you, Kostya?
Huh?
Playing?
I don't think so, sorry. He's wrote his own story. Mind he hadn't even cut the pages.
Shh. Don't make such a fuss.
Getting a lot of flack from the critics.
Oh, well, he takes it all too seriously.
Unfortunate. He can't quite come up with an authentic voice. His work's weird. Not quite in focus. Autistic, almost. None of his characters are real.
Well, I think he's got something. Definitely got something. He thinks in pictures, and those pictures of his get right under my skin. His only problem is he doesn't know what to write about. But you must be very proud of him.
Me? Oh. Do you know, I still haven't read a single word. There's never the time. Right. Usual stakes. Doctor, put mine in the kitty, would you?
With pleasure.
I'll put your money in. Here we go. 22.
Me.
3.
That's mine.
Got it? 7. 81. 10.
Slow down a bit.
Oh, my God, that audience in Kharkov, complete insanity.
34.
Not just 7 calls, but 2 minutes standing ovation, flowers landing on the stage, and even, look, sent to my dressing room.
Very nice.
50.
15?
55. 50.
Oh, you should have seen me at the reception. Well, say what you like, but I still know how to wear clothes.
Yeah, that sounds so sad.
11.
Oh, Patricia, are you bored? He's asleep.
The sleep of a senior civil servant.
7. 90.
If I lived on this kind of property with a lake, I'm not sure I could be bothered to write. I suspect I'd concentrate on fishing.
28.
Rough. Perch. Total bliss.
77. 26.
You know, we've been keeping that thing of yours, don't you?
Thing.
You know, Konstantin shot that seagull and you asked me to have it stuffed.
I don't remember.
66. 1.
Oh, don't be so stupid, Kostya. Shut the door.
88.
Full house, my friends.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Well done.
Oh, this man is a born winner. Well, let's eat, shall we? Our poor star guest had nothing since breakfast. We can carry on afterwards. Oh, Kostya, leave all that. Come and eat something.
No, thanks. I'm not hungry.
Suit yourself. Patricia, supper. 2 whole minutes standing ovation.
Incredible.
I thought those flowers would bury me alive. Oh, that's the thing about Kharkov. Well, they really appreciate what an actor can do. Not everyone understands.
Absolutely.
It's not just a profession. It's a vocation. You give it your whole life, and it's only reasonable to accept something back.
Konstantin is left alone. He looks through his writing and identifies a passage that needs work. He crosses something out and writes a new phrase. He contemplates the new phrase. He crosses out the new phrase and writes an alternative. He contemplates the alternative. In disgust, he screws up the page, tapping on the window.
Hello? Hello? Who is it? Hello? Oh, hey, come on now.
He comes back with Nina.
Hey. Come on now. Don't cry. Shh. Nina. I knew you'd come. I knew it. I've been thinking about it all day.
There's somebody here.
No one.
What about your mother? Lock the doors.
This one doesn't lock. Okay. No one can come in. All right? See? No one can come in.
Let me look at you. It's so warm in here. Nice. Do I look very different?
Yes?
Thinner?
Mm,
How do I look different?
I don't know. God, this is too strange.
Is it my eyes?
I don't understand. Why wouldn't you see me? You've been here nearly a week. I keep going to that hotel, but they won't let me in.
I was frightened you hated me. I keep dreaming you're looking at me, but you don't know who I am. You can't imagine what it's like. Coming back here, walking by the lake. I've been close to your house lots of times, but didn't dare come in. It's so warm in here. It's nice. Snug. Listen to that wind. What's that thing in Turgenev? Happy the man on nights such as these, snug in his own home. I'm the seagull. Is that right? No. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Snug in his own home.
Nina, no, stop. It's okay.
Take no notice. Take no notice. It's good to cry. Yesterday evening, I went to the back of the house to see if our theater was still there. And there it was. So I cried for the first time in 2 years. I cried my heart out, and it was good. Made things much clearer. You see? I've stopped. And look at you. A writer. You're a writer, and I'm an actress. Not children anymore. I don't wake up in my bed like I used to and start the day singing. No. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting up at 5:30 and catching the train with the peasants and their chickens to Yelets. And in Yelets, there'll be the usual cultured clientele who assume actress means, well, you can imagine.
Why Yelets?
Why not? I've signed up for the whole winter. I should go.
When you left me, Nina, I suddenly felt so old. Like I turned into an old man. I hated being alive. I kept seeing your face, or I'd remember you under the tree. Remember that night? The elm?
Why is he talking like this? Why is he talking like this?
Look at me. I've got nothing. Nobody. I am dead inside, and everything I write is dead and cold and meaningless. Stay here. Please, Nina. Or let me come with you. Well, why not, Nina? Why won't you?
I've got a cab waiting. Don't come. Give me some water.
Where's it you're going?
Back to my hotel. What's your mother doing here?
My uncle had an attack last Thursday. He sent a telegram.
Why did you have to say that about the tree? Oh, so it's him, too. Oh, well. Who cares? He said theater was useless, kept making fun of me, kept chipping and chipping away till I felt useless myself, no confidence, second rate, didn't know where to put my hands, couldn't act, couldn't stand right, couldn't control my voice. Horrible. I'm the seagull. Is that right? No. Remember? You shot one. Man turns up, mindlessly destroys it. Idea for a story. Is that right? Oh, no. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Chipping away. But now I can really act. Yes, really command the stage. Feels amazing, like a drug. I've got to go. When I'm a real star, come and see me act. Promise? So?
Stay and have supper.
No, the cab. Don't come. So she actually invited him to this house. Oh, well, who cares? I love him, Kostya. I love him more than ever. I want him. I can't bear it. I'm completely obsessed. Remember how innocent we were? Remember how good it felt? For millions of years. Remember, for millions of years. Now this earth is ash. This lake thick like mercury. No boat lands on the empty shore. No waiting bird stands in the shallows, and the moon, look, picks her way like a looter through the ruined houses of the dead, slicing open her white fingers on the sheets of smashed glass. Cold, blank, distant.
She impulsively embraces Konstantin before she leaves. Konstantin begins to tear up all his writing. After 2 silent minutes of this, he opens the locked door and goes out.
That's odd. This door won't open. Huh. Musical chairs.
The red wine and Alexi's hot milk can go here on the table.
And bring us some coffee, would you?
They put on some music and begin to dance. After a while, Shamrev and Yakov enter, carrying a seagull in a glass cabinet. The dancing stops.
This is the thing I was talking about, see? Your idea.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
A shot from the adjoining room. Everyone jumps.
What was that?
Nothing. Sounds like the top's blown off a medicine bottle. Don't panic.
Half a minute later.
I was right. It was my ether exploding.
Oh my God. It's terrifying. It's just like when everything went black.
Did you read this thing they published a couple of months ago? Very interesting discovery that was made. More in my domain than yours, perhaps, but...
With his arm around Trigorin, he leads him to the writing table alone.
Well, interesting all the same. Get Irina out of here.
What?
Just get her out. It's Konstantin. He shot himself.
End of play.
Recording stopped.
Brava, brava.
Oh, good.
What a way to end the play. Sorry.
With a bang.
I still don't understand how you've never read this, Marcia, and you just like murdered it in the best way. Like absolutely slayed it.
God, thank you.
You're absolutely fantastic as Arkadina. Or Arkadina.
Yeah, from what little I've seen you do, Marcia, that was my favorite performance of yours.
Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. Oh, I was just sitting here enthralled by like this everybody. It's just amazing. It's like all these little vignettes, these little 2 people and 3 people. It was amazing. Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know one of the things that Brian and I had talked about was just really being as like letting the words, like letting this be about the characters and the words, and we don't need to fuck with big elaborate scenic things. Like let's just and getting out of our own ways. So I think that it proved it tonight. You know, it was just especially that, and you know, Bryony even said like, well, you know, we could just give them the script like. They don't have to have it until like the day before. It's fine. Like they can just let the words carry them, and this was the proof right here. I mean, I did know that Marcia would kill it just from knowing you and what you give as an actor, and it's like when you said you were interested, I was like, my heart stopped a bit because I'm like, oh yes, I can see it. And then when all of you were putting your names up there, I'm like, oh shit. So thank you all for proving me right. You're awesome.
How much
Thank you
was
for
this?
this.
Forgive my ignorance, but how much was this abridged? Because I read how it's like
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, critics have. It's hard to tell, like, what is the version? I'm not Russian, so I don't know the original version. So I've only read.
You don't speak Russian? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I know. But the critics say.
What is wrong with Russian? I mean, the Russians don't speak Russian.
The true original of this play is in the Russian accent.
I'm from New Mexico. We just spoke Mandarin.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's about an hour shorter than supposedly the full version.
Yeah,
it sounds like it.
Yeah. I do recommend for every Chekhov fan the Paul Schmidt translations. He writes a translation in Complete Works. That's always my go-to. If you want the full version.
Americans. It's interesting.
He wrote it for Americans?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Should we take that, personally or anything like that?
Is it mostly pictures?
No, just little stuff. Instead of instead of Masha saying rubbish, she says, I don't care. Like things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and she doesn't say "go piss off, Medvedenko" in the other one.
Yes.
Like generally, all these characters aren't as like cutting with their language in the Schmidt one as they are in this one.
Oh, okay. Bless you.
Generally,
thank you.
But I think that Russian, especially from other stuff, short stories and stuff that I've read, that's the thing that I love the most about them, because I'm so much like that myself. They're just there's no dicking around. They just blood straight to the point.
That's my girl.
and it feels like such a more real version of it too when it's like that.
This one didn't read British to me, which was interesting because Martin Crimp's a Brit, but like the Mamet version reads very Mamet, and I even thought about doing the Stoppard version, partly because it just had a really easy script to format. So sorry that it's the photo, but this was such a good one that I found online. But the Stoppard one, like for example, instead of she calls Treplev calls his mom a parasite in this. No, he calls her a bitch. She calls him a parasite, and he calls her a bitch in this one, but he calls her a skinflint in the Stoppard one, which felt oddly quaint for Stoppard, who's such a wordsmith. I was like, okay, he's trying to be Russian or something. I don't know.
What year was it that he did that?
The Stoppard one? I think it was close to turn of the century.
Yeah,
like late 90s, maybe early aughts. I'm not sure, but.
Okay,
but yeah, it wasn't like 60s or anything.
Yeah, so skinflint was still kind of an odd term. Yeah.
Well, he's such a brain, he was probably trying to really recreate a period or something, but it just,
Yeah.
I loved this translation. It has a nice flow to it. But I want to check out the other ones.
Oh, yeah. I gather, though, that translating like Russian to English is difficult even for like Russian first speakers, because I've got a friend who writes screenplays in English aimed at a British audience, and she never writes in Russian and then translates because it's so much harder. to do it. She'd rather just write it in British because it's so different.
I can see that when you speak another language, you get a different personality, right? Like there's a French me and there's a Spanish me and there's a English me, and they're not exactly the same person. I feel like that's happened when you try and translate from Russian.
You speak those two languages fluently?
More or less, I'd say fluently.
Wow.
I'm out of practice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, impressive.
Hey, get to know me.
So that's why Arkadina keeps you around.
Talk French to me.
I just assumed I was other polyglots here. Like I wasn't trying to.
No, I only do accents. I don't actually speak anything but,
I do way
pidgin
more
English.
than I do language.
How has that never come up? I've known you for like 13 years. It's never come up.
Wow.
I speak English, I guess.
Normally I speak those languages too. It's like do you ever go up for stuff in those languages? I chickened out with Spanish. I didn't want to have to take directions from like a Venezuelan director or something who speaks a mile a minute and uses slang and doesn't pronounce as ours. But do you do anything in Spanish ever?
I mean, well, I learned it when I was teaching in the majority immigrant neighborhood. But there is a thing. Some of you must speak other languages, and you notice, like, because of the way, like, not just the way it forms your mouth and your face, but also like the words and the turns of phrase. Like you've seen those memes where they're like the same expression in a bunch of different languages, literally translated. Like you talk differently. I imagine, I don't know Italian, but I imagine like I would not be able to not, start.
You have to use your hands. Yeah. I'm dying to learn Italian. That's one thing I really want to do is I really want to learn Italian.
You can get Pimsleur language courses from your library, audiobooks. That's what I do. I had a really long commute, and so I learned Portuguese. And I just, I know.
Wow.
I was gonna ask Alkis, Katalavenete Lenica?
Ne, Milasi Lenica.
Ligo Lenica.
Ligo. Yati.
Just a little, very little.
How'd you learn that?
Was long commute, man.
Usually it's an ex-girlfriend or something, or boyfriend, but
yeah. That was Greek.
That's impressive.
That was Greek, yes. I remember. So one time I was doing this improv scene with. I'm going to throw out some names here. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Kemp, who was Bradley Cooper's teacher, and she had dated for a very long time a Greek guy, a very long time. And my scene partner was my then girlfriend, and she was very Greek. But we were doing the scene in English, and it wasn't working. There was something not working. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the scene, Elizabeth says, "Okay, start speaking Greek." And it was her native tongue, and I grew up speaking Greek, English, and French. But Greek is that's my mother nursed me with that one. My parents are Greek, so all of a sudden the scene just fucking flew. And I'm not even 100% fluent in Greek, but there was something that it just brought out something completely different. And to Max's point, every language, depending how fluent you are, how you were brought up, it's just brilliant how that happens.
Yeah, and Greek especially when all the root words pop out at you. When you learn that man is Kyrie, and you learn that hotel is Casenogio. You learn these little things You start to learn all these roots. It really blew my mind. I was like, oh, all those things I learned going to Catholic church, all those lyrics in those songs, those were all Greek, Kyrie eleison, things like that. I was like,
and all the words kind of make sense because all the different syllables, they put them together and it makes another word, and it's all logical kind of thing.
Yeah,
more or less.
Very logical, yeah.
No.
So take the Pimsleur course on Greek, guys. You'll love it.
For more information,
Pimsleur, right?
Public library.
It's easier than French. French is the hardest in terms of the accent. It's unless you grew up with it, it's impossible. I don't know how people do it.
I don't know. I haven't been able to do it with other languages, but French, I feel like I learned the accent.
How did you learn? Where did you learn French? How did you learn French?
My mom wouldn't let me take Spanish like everybody else in California because she thought I would just pick it up living in California.
You had to be a fancy lad, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be in that too. Yeah, it's the literature. It's there's Spanish literature as well. Anyway, But I
Yeah,
said
they wrote the first novel, Cervantes.
Yeah.
And but there's no practice. But anyway, like I feel like I learned it. I don't know if it was the way I was taught or what, but it was like you had to nail the sounds first, like before grammar and vocabulary, like get the accent down. And it's totally paid off. Like I've been in situations where like it's like, does anybody here speak French? And I'm like, whatever. And then like they're like, oh, what part of France are you from? And I'm like,
oh, so you have a good accent. Let me hear it.
Covina?
I mean, now I'm on the spot. I'm not gonna do any.
Well, you must have had an authentic French teacher in your class. Like
that was it. I think we had
Side note, Max, can you please someday read for Chef Cousteau from Ratatouille?
I've played chefs twice professionally. I have been paid. I earn residuals for being a French chef. But that again, it's the accent. I sold them on the accent because it's in English, and I'm literally doing like the guy from Little Mermaid. I'm like,
yeah, but you know what? That's how the French speak.
Actual French guys in the waiting room. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, I booked a diaper rash. I booked a diaper rash cream commercial just because I could pronounce the word Boudreaux correctly.
We had to do.
The casting director comes out and he's like, guys, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but the word is pronounced Boudreaux. Boudreaux. Boudreaux.
I went out for a commercial for like a Charmin. It was like they were trying to make bidet culture happen in the U.S. So it was like a wet toilet paper situation. Anyway, like they're like, do it in French because we're gonna have whatever market that we're selling this to, and then like improvise the end, like button the end, and like like I could do that in English, and I could do all the lines you give me.
Button the end.
Yes. The end.
Le petit bouton à la fin. Oui.
I called it because we were like supposed to say like it's great, like it's super cool, it's chouette, and then I was like it's the coup de grâce, which was a play on coup de grâce, but cool means asshole, like culo, and I was brilliant, and it was like, and clearly nobody in the room spoke any French, like they were just like, okay, next, like I have pearls before swine, people. Stormed out of there.
The problem in New York City is like I can't take advantage of my French because there's so many French-speaking people here. It's like you speak a language they have it here in New York City. It's crazy.
I do love English, though. I'm a real big fan of the English language. I absolutely love it because it gathers language and meaning from every other language. It's like a sponge.
It's a bastard language.
I absolutely love that, and I love being in this group with people who speak the Queen's English because I was watching Macbeth the other night, and the actor who plays the witches, she has this rough like East End accent and just decades of rough like smoking, and just the way she uses the words, it's just like, oh God, really impressive. If you haven't seen it.
Yeah, we need Apple TV, right, for that. I mean,
borrow it from your friend's account or something like that. There's not a ton on Apple TV that's really worth watching, but we got it for free. My wife bought a new Apple Watch or something. So
there's a bunch of stuff on Apple actually I like.
Yeah, but Velvet Underground doc I want to see if that's still on there.
Which one? The Velvet Underground?
Yeah, there was a Velvet Underground doc I heard was really good on Apple TV. I want to see that.
Oh yeah, you recommend? Because I have Apple TV, so I can just. Oh, okay.
I've heard it's really good. They're one of my favorite bands. So
I'll watch it. I'll tell you about it, and then
Yes, it was my son's favorite bands too. Was the Velvet Underground?
Well, I could see that and Macbeth in 3 months, right? You get 3 months.
Ted Lasso. I think
Ted Lasso's awesome.
Everyone loves Ted Lasso.
I don't understand. I can't get into Ted Lasso. I don't understand.
Why does everyone love Ted Lasso? What is it about it?
I don't get it.
Dead inside.
Get to the end of season 1.
You keep watching it. Watch it. I put it on because I love Sudeikis. When I saw the premise of it and stuff, and I was like, I don't know. What I care about a sports thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it was Sudeikis, so I was like, okay, I love him. So I started watching it, and after, it just kind of pulls you in. Give it a chance. Seriously.
Okay.
Suspend your disbelief. Okay.
It's very hard to do.
It gets to you.
All right.
Does anybody know
Interesting.
the Foundation books by Isaac Asimov, like classic sci-fi?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, it's seminal work, but like nobody can make it because it takes place over like tens of thousands of years and spread across galaxies. But they made it on Apple TV. They have a version. It's got Lee Pace in it and Jared Harris.
What?
People.
Wow.
What is this now? What's it called?
It's called Foundation. It's hard sci-fi. Like if you're not into like.
Yeah, I couldn't. Okay, because I wanted to watch it. It looked cool, but then it was just seemed like.
Yeah, it's like a Game of Thronesy kind of, but like space.
Well, I like Game of Thrones, so.
Yeah, there's not as many boobs if that's you. I don't know.
Well, then forget it.
I want to be honest. Okay. It's an honest review.
Like, there's the deal breaker.
I know. It's no boobs. Forget it.
I was promised 50 boobs.
I was promised 51. Don't ask me how it's an odd number.
Oh, Brian, you're being so British right now. Smoking on camera.
Well, she is British, though.
I know, she's allowed.
She can't help it.
She can swear and smoke and all that stuff.
And we're
Sorry,
not.
Brian, I didn't hear you.
I said it's how I keep my gravelly voice.
Ah.
Tuning your instrument.
I still want to hear Smelly Cat, so. If not from Val, then from you. No.
I have to sing something I believe in. I don't believe it.
I do not believe in a smelly
cat. It's the best song ever. Ever.
Mindful, everyone. I have to go eat. I have had a day before this.
Same here.
Exactly what I needed. So thank you so
Pass me some food. I don't have anything here. I never.
Thanks, y'all. Great work.
Love you all.
Oh,
Max, it was
wonderful
delightful
work,
watching you
guys.
as always.
Awesome job, man.
It was
Awesome,
a pleasure.
Thank
You killed it, man.
Thanks.
Formidable.
Thanks,
All right, everybody.
we
Have a
lost
great night. Thank you again.
Oh, bye,
Good night, Tom. Great work, man.
Always a pleasure, Tom.
We'll see you next
Always a
time.
pleasure, Tom.
Hey,
Wait, where
Henry.
were we?
Now we're like 2 columns.
Yes, now we're 2 columns. Yes, we're 2 columns.
Hollywood Squares is gone.
Oh, Henry, I loved your line when you're like one of your first lines, and you said they were saying, "So what about your hair?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, my hair. No matter what, I always look like an alcoholic or something."
Yeah.
You said.
I was gonna say, Henry, you were so funny in this.
I know you were hysterical. You were really funny. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a fun part. These, Chekhov's old guys. I mean, they don't have any restraints, really, do they? I mean, they're, and so they just say what they want to do, they say, and all that sort of thing. Like the guy in Vanya, which I did in a reading before with you, Bryony.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that reading, Henry.
What's his name? Serebrakov or something like that.
Sarah Bryakov.
Yeah, they're just going to get.
I'd forgotten about that reading until literally about a week ago when I was looking for stuff for the for the reading we were doing of it, and I came across the recording and was like, half of me remembered it as if it was yesterday, and then I was also kind of like, I don't really remember this happening. What? It was really surreal, but I enjoyed it.
Oh, well, there again, we just did that at the last minute, wasn't it? It was just Mariana just said, let's put on a show. And then suddenly we were all there doing it, and it was great.
It was good. And that was cool because Olga was in that one as well. It's always nice to have a Russian speaker in there.
Oh, yes, a real Russian.
Real Russian, yes.
I was just going to say, Marsha, yes. Sorry, I still find it difficult to... Have you noticed, this is completely off the point, that I used to call you Marcia?
Uh-huh.
And when we were live and in person. And people used to complain about that, and I couldn't understand it. So I forced myself to say Marsha. And then if you notice, whenever you're with the Brits, all the Brits call you Marcia. And so I was completely right in my own way, talking about languages.
Well, I never complained that you said, because I...
No, I know, but other people, Gwen in particular. But anyway...
Yes, well, she's my cousin, so,
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is... this play reminded me so much, especially the role you did. You were fantastic, and it reminded me of The Vortex by Joel Coward, which we did. and where you played a very similar sort of character. I mean, it wasn't a sexual thing or a drug thing, but it was still that mother, that actress mother.
It was.
And
Yeah.
it just the energy of it was so interesting that it just came through in that sort of way. I'm just wondering how much Coward has been influenced actually by Chekhov. Well, a lot of writers have been influenced by Chekhov, haven't they? I guess. But
I think so. Just like, you see Shakespearean influences everywhere. So I think there's a lot of Chekhov and things too. Yeah. But I felt that as I was doing it, but it was a different energy. Because I don't think that Florence would ever have yelled at her son like that, would have called him names like that.
Well, they did yell at each other, but it was
a
kind of desperate thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a different thing. She was being defensive, not offensive.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So, but I did feel the same energy. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I loved both of those. The Vortex was amazing.
You were fantastic at that too, absolutely. You and Christopher doing that last scene, which is basically that last act, which is basically just you two.
Just us, yeah.
And just getting so deep into it.
Oh my God.
You did it so brilliantly. That was beautiful.
Oh, thanks. I'd like to see it sometime.
Oh, I shouldn't have mentioned it. It's been in the editing room for rather a long time. But one of the...
We're still fixing it in post.
Yes. Everything's in post. One day, you'll surprise me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Henry with a tease.
What a what?
Oh, a tease, like a little hint, like a preview, like you'll get it soon. You'll get it.
No.
Yes, that might make me have to do it, mightn't it? Yeah. Do a trailer. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Teasers and trailers equal deadlines.
That's right. You can't say coming soon. You have to say coming, and then
eventually.
No. Give it a date.
Forthcoming.
Or you could always just keep torturing Marcia with dangling the hook, like it's coming.
He does love to do that, so
And then she'll forget about it, and then you'll say, "Remember the vortex? How good you were in that."
I know. So he's the one who brought it up, not me.
Yes, I shouldn't have said anything. I've got a big note up here.
We dig our holes
saying, "Don't ever mention the vortex when Marcia's around."
Honestly, that brings up a good point. That is a great trick to do. Just like, do not give them the information they want. Let them get all their questions out. And if you're still like, I'm still not telling you, I'm still not telling you, I'm still not showing you, then eventually they'll stop asking and then they'll stop wondering.
The other thing we could do in the meantime is we could do the vortex in this group, couldn't we?
We could do the vortex if you'd like to. Yeah, that would be good. That would be interesting to see with the different and do it like we're doing this, like do it as a cold reading.
Yeah.
Just with
it wouldn't be so cold for you and me and a few others, but
yeah.
Well, it's pretty cold by now again.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was done quite a while ago. Come to think of it, so.
As someone who has not seen your guys' production of Vortex, I'd love to see you reprise your roles.
That was great. That was a lot of fun. We should do it, Henry.
But everybody has to do real good British accents, because it doesn't, in my view, it doesn't work otherwise.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
I mean, it's so British. It's such British, uptight people.
Exactly. Well, it's no coward. I mean, it has to be done in just such a way. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
I could do a pretty good RP.
We could do the other one as well. We did the, what was it called?
I'll Leave It to You.
I'll Leave It to You, which was Noel Coward's first hit.
Mm.
And that one we did in a live stream, didn't we? We could do that in this group as well. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we could do that one.
I mean, Coward's just great fun to do, isn't it?
Oh, they are. They definitely are.
Well, I don't know how good my British accent could be, but if it's possible, I would be down for such an endeavour.
Okay,
we'll work on it.
Coward is so delightfully hilarious. I adore him.
Yes, the three of us will work on it.
Oh, there you are.
Yes, please teach me
Well,
the
no way.
ways of the Brit.
We're on our way.
I might be able to manage.
My RP is pretty decent.
Very good. A bit worried about Brittany's accent, Bryony's accent, but I'm sure she can pull something out. If
I think so. Just travel a little distance, get on the L, and get on the tube and go to a different neighborhood. What? Yes.
not many tubes in Grantham, are there?
I don't know.
Anyway, Jonathan and Bryony, thank you so much for putting this together. It's
yes.
It was a delight
Thank
to
you guys
do.
so much.
I miss Chekhov so much. So thank you for doing this. And I did, and you guys reminded me so much about how I so badly want to do Astrop again on stage. I need a second chance for that role.
Again, you've played him once already. Before, like you've played him on stage before, Astro?
No, I've never played him before. That was my first.
Oh, just
read,
after doing it, that reading, yeah.
After doing that, I was
so
like,
well. You were really good.
I made so many mistakes. I know for a fact I could do more beat changes and have more emotion in it and do more character work with it. I so badly want to do that role on stage and redeem myself. Wait, what? Wait, what? I missed that. What?
I think someone started playing a video.
Yeah, there was something.
I just clicked on the video where Bryony put in the
okay.
in the chat, so I'll look at that later. That looks like fun. Bryony?
It was what Konstantin and Masha were reminding me of really strongly in it. But things like that is why I just find these Russian plays so funny when a lot of people don't necessarily. I was laughing out loud loads during this. It just tickles me.
So many things you see nowadays, like everything from like Eugene O'Neill to like in modern day BoJack Horseman. It's like these heavy dramas that are also unexpectedly funny. Like they're all taking notes from Chekhov. They're all so very Chekhovian. It's just brilliant to go back to all that. And before I forget, Hayden, I was just about to compliment your performance, but then you pulled out that in god-awful British accent.
Well, then just forget that for a minute.
So,
no, you were so good. You were so good.
Thank you.
Constantine, you as Constantine was the performance that no offense to anyone else, because I was looking forward to seeing everyone. You as Constantine was the one I was looking forward to the most, based on what I knew, and I was disappointed. Wait, that I didn't have anything to dunk on. That was no, jokes aside, Hayden. That I have never seen you act in person. I have never seen your on-camera work. From what I've seen so far, that's the best acting I've seen you do.
Thanks, man.
That is my favorite performance of yours. That was so genuine, so emotional. You were sometimes kind of fucking creepy, and sometimes so sympathetic and vulnerable. Your scenes with you nailed your scenes with Aaron and Marsha. That was a wonderful performance, man.
Thank you, man.
That wasn't that terrible, Waffles.
Thanks, old man. Thanks, old man. It means a lot.
I agree.
For anyone, sorry for anyone out of the loop. Uncle Vanya reference.
Yeah, that scene in Act 3 with like Marsha. Oh, and that was like, I kind of knew that was gonna be my favorite scene, and yeah, that was my favorite scene to do.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Can I
Oh
see?
my god, just amazing.
Can we see that on stage too? Can we do that on stage too?
I think we need to. We need to.
Both Vanya and Seagull. We need to reprise our roles.
A double feature.
Yeah.
I've lived in Texas for 10 years? No, 11 shit. No, fuck me. What am I saying? 15 years. Grad school like doesn't feel like years. It's just like a thing I did. But like 15 years in
Where'd you go to grad
Texas.
school?
U of H.
U of H.
Yeah, University of Houston. Yeah. It's they have a free Shakespeare thing there that was connected, and the guy who ran it, the founder, I met in California when I was working at Marin Shakespeare, and I was like, I need to go to grad school and have 3 letters behind my name so I can work, and eat ramen with shrimp instead of plain ramen. Like that's what a master's does. And but like I don't think anyone's done Chekhov here. Like the community theaters are afraid of it, which is good. They should be so good. I'm glad they're not trying it. But the professional theaters are not really touching it, which I find interesting. I wonder why. Because, Houston's a pretty big city. It's a weird theater city, but there is a lot of theater being done. And we're trying to invade, variations. There's like 3 of us that are like, there's a lot of Houstonians, I should say, that like I don't meet a lot of Dallas people doing the virtual stuff, or even Austin, which is weird, but it's like this little Houston mafia group, probably because of Rebecca's group, and we're all like, but like no one's doing the Seagull, and they should. And we should do it, and you should all come to Houston. And I don't know how that grant will happen, but it has to happen.
Well, if it happens, then I will make a way to come out there. So.
Or hey, we could come to LA too. Well, I guess they're doing Chekhov probably every week in LA somewhere, right?
I don't know.
Theater going on at all.
Acting studios, and I'm sure there's a workshop being done right now as we.
In class, or maybe in student
showcase.
Those kinds of things. Equity
waivers. Or no, your all waiver thing is weird now, right? What did they do over there?
Oh, I have no idea.
You don't know what's going on. I have a friend in LA who is a staunchly non-union person, and not that he likes unions, but he thinks equity is really fucked up. And he was just saying something about the new 99-seat law over there. The equity was trying to do something like get rid of the waiver, and he was mad about
it. Yes, I think they did. I mean,
did they get rid of it? So there's no more 99-seat theater that someone without an equity card could do?
Not including equity members.
Yeah,
I think. Or there may be waivers, but I mean, equity are just being dumb about the whole thing. I mean, people don't do theatre in. There's so much 99-seat theatre in LA, and people don't do it for the money. They do it because it's the craft, and they want to act with other actors on stage, and they're mostly film people and film and TV people anyway. Yeah. So for equity to get in there, so equity isn't as big here as it is on the East Coast. But I guess they're just trying to, flex their tiny muscles.
Yeah, but they're doing it in the wrong way at the wrong time. You need to open things up, not shut it down into little clicks. We've got enough of that going on.
They chant this mantra that if everybody gets together, they'll force the producers to open up more equity contracts, and that's just not going to happen.
No, that's what was behind SAG merging with AFTRA, and how did that go? Not well.
Yeah, it's weird. The union, I feel like, is there to protect kind of a big, like the pyramid. It's like the pyramid's backwards, like from the top. And the rest of us, because I left equity after about 6 years, because and I had nothing against unions. I love unions, but I felt like equity was like, I'm literally wasting money, like going to a new location, because it's not like, I don't know a single town that goes, oh, cool, a new union member. We're so excited to have you here. It was like, oh, your union? Sorry. Yeah, we've got our 6 people that we use here in Houston. And it was like,
Yes, like they want to use as little of the union people as possible. Like they just want to like hit the limit that they need to hit, so that way they don't have that way everyone else they bring in they don't have to worry about paying as much.
Yeah, I mean, I remember working at theaters. I don't even know what you need to get health anymore in AEA, but I remember it would be like 14 weeks and you could, or 15 weeks and you would get a year of medical back in the 80s. And then it was like every contract was 14 weeks, like just so they could just avoid that cutoff point. And it was like, this is ridiculous. But, you know, also, I guess for actors who really hit it hard, I guess the union is, I mean, probably a good thing. I knew I wouldn't live that life where I would just live out of a suitcase my whole life and I think you've got to be that way if you're going to be a regional theater actor. Just be ready to travel everywhere and base yourself out of New York so you could work in St. Louis, right? See, equity actors in St. Louis aren't getting the work. The New York actors, where they get the jobs, go to St. Louis to do their shows.
Sorry for looking down for so long. I was ordering food because I have no food here and I'm starving.
What'd you get?
I got something really nice. I got bolognese with extra sauce on top of fresh tagliatelle.
Excellent.
Where from?
But for a second, I thought you were saying Teddy, like teddy bear.
Oh no, Pasta Sisters. It's in Culver City.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I was ordering that because they give you a lot. It's a big thing. It's definitely 2 meals worth. So, and I'm hungry. All I've had today is yogurt and applesauce.
Interesting combo.
I know. When I said it, I was like, "That's all you ate? That's pathetic."
Are you sick or are you just busy?
No.
Or is this a diet?
I was supposed to go out shopping yesterday, and both times I got kind of sidetracked because somebody called that I really needed to speak to. My son called, and then my best friend called, and she's been having some health issues, and then it got too late. So yeah, and then I didn't go today because I had other things to do, and then I ended up being late for you guys because well, to tell the truth, I ended up having a reaction to some new makeup that I put on, and then I had to wash my face like really fast and put something else on because it was horrible.
Yeah.
The trials and tribulations, men never have to go through that.
Yeah.
Super sensitive skin. The last time I shaved my head, I put something on it and it didn't like it. It's like burning.
Ooh.
Get it all off. Put some nice, safe moisturizer on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything. It's like turning red and like everything's like flaking off. I was like, holy crap! And I was like, oh my God! It's like I've only got a few minutes and I'm like rushing around like crazy. So yeah.
Arkadina's like. Yes, this is actually a method acting research practice for a new role I will be performing.
God. Yes, it's a new horror film, The Woman with Her Skin That Blisters and Peels Off. Great. Gosh. So what's next up for us? What's coming up next now?
Just with love. Is it?
When is that now?
Next week. Yeah,
next Thursday.
Next Thursday? Oh, okay. Do we have enough people? Because I know there was a lot of people were saying they weren't available.
I guess.
I'm
I guess she got
happened.
enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I said I wasn't available because I got the